Welcome back, people. Welcome back. We know it's been a minute, but we back at it again, man. This is the Ordinary People Podcast, and we coming to y'all with another fire topic. Make sure y'all like and subscribe and share. You see him? He can't hit the table.
They won't let me hit the table. My fingers too heavy.
So today's topic: the effects of being black men in America. That's a real serious one right there, because
It's serious.
so it's a wide range.
Anytime you do anything with color, it gets serious.
It gets serious.
Because
Anytime you add color to anything.
Anything.
then it gets people.
Definitely black.
People get made to be uncomfortable for no reason. Like it's something. I just feel like anytime it needs to be talked about, because if you don't have a problem with something, you can talk about that. It's the people who really got a problem with admitting or talking about something that another race has done who don't want to talk about it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And so we know the effects that black men has had in America in the past. We know the effects that America has had on black men, and how it has affected from our grandparents going down to us, and how it's going to affect our kids, and how our kids can go out and affect America in whatever way they may be. So, yeah, interesting topic.
Absolutely.
That's one of the things I do now, brother. I tell, especially my daughter, I tell her, I give it to her raw. Like, I tell her, like, this is what to expect. This is what you're going to need to do. And then now that, my son is, back in my life, I drill him. I say, you got 2 strikes against you already. You are male and you black. All they want to do is just push your buttons. I said, you got something that's great inside you, and it's called your father's genes. So act accordingly. Don't ever get out of pocket. Always be respectful, but don't let nobody take advantage of you.
It's important to let them know. There's also important to let them know there's also some good people out here too.
Yeah. Not every
Yeah. Honestly, black people needed good white people to get to where we are.
To get to where we are.
Like, you know what I'm saying? There's some good people. But on a daily basis, us going out here and grinding and dealing with the different effects of us and how people, regardless of what you have on, you're walking down the street, even right here on Market Street, and you're walking about certain white people, they look at you, they clench their purse, they move to the side. You really see it all the time when we're standing outside. They'll come up here, walk across the street
on
walk down and come back. We have no intention. We're not paying them no attention. And so, you know what I'm saying?
And let the truth be told, if something happens, we the ones going to help you.
We gonna help you. Like, my dad was telling me about some guy who was working for one of utilities or something, got his hand stuck.
Oh yeah, it was me and your dad.
He said y'all ran over there and helped him, and he thanked the dude, the white guy.
He wasn't doing that to us. We had to, because he was doing something, and like this, I don't know, man, this thing looked like it was heavy. I heard it go boom, and I saw him he was like, hey, come here. And I was like, what's going on? Because me and your dad, we were sitting there talking. He said, hey, can y'all help? And so we ran over there and said, man, my hand's stuck in there. We just pushed the joint up. His hand was like, oh, man. He ain't say nothing to us at all. He was like, hey, man, thank you so much. I said, man, you called the wrong one. Because he couldn't do it.
He was just sitting there looking.
He was sitting there, he was.
Yeah, that's wild.
He ain't say thank you. A dog will wag his tail if you good to him. You know what I'm saying? He ain't say thank you, man, appreciate y'all. He told the dude thank you and got on the phone, and I guess he was calling whoever he needed to call, talking about his hand was broke. Trust me, it was broke. Talking about whoever he needed to call. But me, we ain't say nothing, we just came back across the street, talking about what we was talking about, and then we rolled up.
It's like, God, it's calling before.
Before.
Now you got some niggas to help you, bro. You know what I'm saying? So it's just
yeah, that was wild.
Well, I mean, there's so many situations and topics that you can bring up just from that other people may not have to deal with, that I'm sure that all 4 of us deal with on a daily basis. Or
I was gonna say definitely with the kids anyway. As black men, we gotta raise our kids to know, certain things, be aware of how the police might be, or how to just to interact.
How to interact with the police.
Really, just how to interact with them, because if they look at the movie movies and TV and, you know, all that shit. They want to do it the wrong way, and then
Another situation.
yeah, the law forbid we have a situation on our hands. So, you know, that's definitely important. Just to speak on, you know, black teaching too. You know what I mean? But like you
Yeah,
said,
teaching, yeah.
like you said, I was just watching the interview, and it was talking about G Herbo. He was explaining how he became who he are came from his dad teaching him as, you know, as a little kid, even if it was threatening him to not do certain things. Like he told him, if you ever smoke crack, I'm gonna kill you. If you ever do this, I'm gonna kill you. And like he said, he was scared of his dad, so he always remembered that. So when it came time to go in the streets to even sell it, he think about his dad, like, my dad gonna kill me if I do that. So he said he always, you know, like second guessed to go that way. That's why he ended up taking the music route. You know, so I was like, damn, that's a good, you know, because we would think like other people would see how we talk to our kids. You see what I'm saying? And you know, we call it tough love, but they would see how we talk to our kids and look at it as it might be what they call it, not physical, verbal abuse. You see what I'm saying? But in all reality, it's not. It's just how we teach them. That's how we give tough love.
But we interact differently between each other than we do anyway.
So
I ain't gonna compare with your kids, but like I think that's a norm in a black household. Like, you better not do that.
Right.
I got
Even if
that.
we're not gonna do it, it's just.
I got that as I was growing up. And, you know, you got to think just him, the rapper. This is how a lot of athletes grew up, and they was like, hey,
Right.
you know, let me concentrate on this because I know if I go this route, especially anybody who had, you know, decent parents. If I go this route, nah, my parents ain't having that. You know what I'm saying?
But look at what happened with Gilly. He started going the right route, and he got his kids into the music and doing that. But like they say, it's always one that's
Always.
you see what I'm saying that you trying to pull away from the streets or whatever.
They want to figure it out
And that
themselves.
was the one that was getting locked up and stuff like that. Not saying that was an excuse, but you know, like they say, put yourself in those situations. You know, or in even those environments, it ain't even had nothing. It might not even have nothing to do with him. It could have been his homeboys. But at the end of the day, you hang with them, guilty by association.
You know what I'm saying? One of the problems I think in this society is the black man hasn't been in the household.
Our brother,
Right.
I was just getting ready to say
that's
that.
what they want. That's why they you know, that's why our numbers are what they are.
Do you
The whole
think?
agenda.
Now, do you think?
The whole
I have a
agenda.
question for everybody. Do y'all think that because we might have more non-fathers in the household than fathers in the household, do you think that the people or kids that don't have a father in the household affect the ones that do? Do you think, like me, like do
I
you
don't
think
think
the
so.
ones that do might
I think
sometimes want to be like them or vice versa?
I think that it's clearly said. I think what affects those kids is the father not being in the household. And when they said they've got studies done that when the father's in the household, even without the mother, the success rate's way more. And when it's just a single mom raising them, success rate.
No, I'm not saying that.
What I'm saying is so I don't think other kids not having a father or having a father affects them. As long as they got that father in their life, the kids who have them are going to do, for the most part, they're going to do the right thing. They're going to do it. And the kids who don't, they're not going to be able. I don't think those kids who don't have a father are going to pull those kids who have fathers away and get them to want to live the lifestyle that they're living. You understand what I'm saying? And so
I'm saying I think it might be like both. Like sometimes they do,
Yeah,
sometimes they don't.
not according to
Just
the
my
studies.
Well, yeah, I was getting ready to say, well, this is how I look at it. So you got a child in the household with the father,
Bullet studies.
a child in the household
Well,
with a
look at
father, and a child in the household without a father.
Mm-hmm.
The child in the household without a father can't offer the child in the household with the father nothing.
And so it
but-
happens the opposite way.
But
Then nowadays, if he outside more than he is outside, you see where I'm
No,
going.
I-
You see how the roles reverse
I
though.
understand
See what I'm
I
saying?
understand what you're saying, but look at the whole.
I'm not saying
man.
it's a bad thing. I'm just saying, do you see how the roles?
I see what you're saying.
But-
What,
Good.
go ahead.
I was gonna say, but when you have a father in your household and your father's constantly talking, you got these goals, you got this
Yeah.
goal, you ain't worried about
You
it.
ain't even worried about that.
You're not worried about it. I know for a fact, 'cause I've been there. The only thing you worried about is these goals. Because you, like Herbo said, I'm so scared of my father. I'm listening to him. And then don't let your father be successful at the same time as you growing up. You so focused on, I don't care what he in these streets. And you know what I mean? And so what I tend to see is the ones who have fathers tend to affect the ones who don't. And so as I was growing up, you see the ones who have fathers, the kids who don't, they'd be over there chilling at your house, going to do stuff with you and your father. You know, going to, y'all going to practice, y'all going to do extra stuff. They with you more often than not than the ones who had a father be over there with somebody who don't.
I see that's when we was growing up, but nowadays it ain't like that because as I was coming up, right, my dad was there. You see what I'm saying? Like later on in life, my dad was there, so I lived with him, right. And then I might have been stuck in the house. Kids that didn't have no dad, they going to the parties, they going to the football games, they going to all these places that I can't go. You understand what I'm saying? So now it's making me not saying I don't want a dad, but it's making me want to do those things that they're doing. Just that freedom part of it. You see what I'm saying?
I hear
not
you.
saying that.
But when you got that
No,
father,
I'm not saying. Now it do.
You know what freedom gets you?
here's
That's
the
why
thing,
they say a lot of kids when they get out the house like that and they've been locked in, they go crazy.
Here's the thing too,
See what I'm
when you
saying?
got that father figure, he focused on whatever, because I wanted to be free, I wanted to go out and do whatever.
We all
But
did,
I was
yeah.
focused on what I wanted to do, and I said when I get there, it'll be a lot better. And so, and so you keep saying nowadays, so your kids are going, because I know my kids ain't, that's not gonna happen to my kids. And so, and you raise your kids, and you're not gonna allow that to happen, you're not gonna allow that to happen. So that's 4 people right there. So it's not everybody, it's just certain people who, and a lot of times I think it's the ones who are learning for the first time on how to be a father. They didn't have that father figure, and so now they're new parents, and now they're learning. And so I think that happens, and they're not keeping the kids focused on stuff. And so, yeah, you may not be able to go to that party, but you still out and about. You didn't did this today, you didn't did that, you didn't do that. So by the time the date's over, I could go to the party. I'm tired of shit anyway. Like, you know what I'm saying? And so
So you saying we gotta keep them active?
you gotta keep them active.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm getting with it. Like,
and so you can't
where
just
did we
be
meet at
a father,
in the middle,
a
you see what I'm
father,
saying?
a father.
Because I
That
can
man
try as
just
much
can't-
as I want, but
he-
once they get a certain
He just
age,
can't be. That's
teenage wise,
That's only if you're not into that. You in their
Yeah.
life. It ain't gonna matter when
It
they're a
ain't gonna
teenager or
happen.
not.
Yeah.
If you've been in that kid's life since he's seen you every day of his life, and he
And the way
turned
this stuff be
14.
on you, come on,
He
man.
turned 14.
I'm not saying me.
Yeah,
I'm just saying. No, I'm just saying.
You see what I'm saying? Because I know guys,
I'm just
you see what I'm saying, in these different positions, so that's why I'm.
But you gotta check how their father too. They may not be fathering the same way. They might say, hey, they come home, but they don't spend no time with them. They in video games, whatever they doing, they not doing that. But I know for a fact, I know. You come home, you with your kids on top of you playing, so you developing that chemistry, not for right now. You developing that bond for when they 13, 14, 15, they start thinking, he start thinking, man, which we all do, when we start getting a little hair on our nuts or whatever we feel like, and then you check him, and he at that point, well, that's my dad. He automatically, you know what I'm saying? But if you haven't really been there, if dad, hey, I got this, you don't show up. Hey, dad, you're not taking them here, you're not doing that. And then when you get 15, 16, you don't have no respect for you because you was just a figure, but you ain't do nothing with them. You was just there. And so I think it also, as a father, you just can't be there. You got to be involved. You know what I mean? And I think the involvement will keep the kids from wanting to be like the other kids who don't. Now, if they got a dad who's not really involved, they don't see nothing positive, he just laying around. Oh, they gone. Just like these kids, then, now, and in the future, it's going to be the same way. They gone. That's why, because
some families got a strong mother. You see what I'm
They
saying?
do.
Without the dad and the kids still
they do.
mom on their back. You see what I'm saying?
So-
Even so, it's
Once they
nothing
get
like
to-
having that father.
Once they get 15, 16 years old, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That my mom will only do so much with a man, for the most part. Like, every once in a while, you got those few rare situations where boom, 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 but usually, even when they had that, they got like an uncle or something.
I was gonna say,
They got
somebody in the neighborhood.
somebody in there with mom,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Once they get that
It's your
age,
uncle.
you know what I mean? Or your uncle. That's your uncle. Uncle, come out of your room all the time.
You know.
Uncle always here, got his
Y'all
own
always have a
place.
slumber party.
But nah,
Real talk, real talk.
I agree with most scenarios, but I just think that involved father and like us as black men, to continue what the topic is. As we involve ourselves, we work, we grind, we do all this stuff for our kids, and that's we are trying to leave a legacy here when we leave our footprint here and all that. and it's not easy because of the obstacles and the hurdles we gotta go through because we're way more likely to get pulled over, get locked up, and have to deal with that. And so as we're trying to build, and let's say something like that does happen, and now you got a setback where our counterpart may never have that, and so they don't get these certain setbacks in life. They're studying, evolving, and they've evolved this much, setbacks. Their dad had evolved this much.
They might have a kid in his
granddad.
late 20s, out of school.
Like I did,
and,
you know what I'm saying? I was late, but
late 30s,
but,
out of school,
so
yeah.
where
Their advantage is there.
it's already there, but then they also get these, their great granddaddy had all these steps
Yeah.
that our great granddaddy didn't have. He had these setbacks, slavery,
Yeah.
this, and he had setbacks, boom, boom, boom. And so now they're able to pass that on to their grandson who had steps, never had setbacks, but in blackness, like we had setback. Then boom, then we try to catch up. Then another setback, boom. Then our kids still our setbacks, and we try to catch up. Boom. And so our whole goal is not to try to have these setbacks, so we can stay at pace or ahead.
Yeah.
So we every time we be at pace or ahead, something happens.
Something.
And now we're not there.
Yeah, pushes back.
You know what I mean? And so that's just real looking at how things are happening. So imagine if we can go 2 or 3 generations and build our things, so our kids can just piggyback off us. They don't get in trouble. Boom.
Yeah.
We don't
Don't
piggyback
try to run it.
where will our great grandkids be because of the efforts of
And like you
that.
said, I feel like we had things in order already, in order, like you said, already for them to be able to, they don't have to really, their options is,
You have a lot more options.
limited. Yeah,
So
they have
they're-
more options to do more things, especially if we have options for you. Like, okay, if you don't want to do that, I got these 3 options over here.
That's why I always believe so much in sports. Like I just feel like, first of all,
Options.
gives them a whole bunch of options, but then they not just sitting around.
Yeah,
They come
sit
home,
around.
and then it puts you around like-minded people. And so most of the time,
That's key.
you know what I'm saying? Most of the time,
Even school.
school, if you messing with somebody who plays sports, that's your homeboy. His thought process, your thought process. Hey, let's think about what we got to do to be good at this soccer game. You know what I'm saying? What can we do practice? And so boom. And so, the likelihood of you having a pool of somebody outside going to all the parties is no, that's not even in your group. And so,
Right. And you're not even hanging with them.
You're not even hanging with them.
Right. So you're not even thinking about it. Y'all just go to the party, y'all going together.
They're going together.
Yeah.
And so your
Curfew, same time, y'all same
most
team.
for the most time, like,
so
we got
I
games
see
on, we got to go to
yeah.
sleep.
Yeah,
And
go,
so,
go.
Yeah.
even whether it's the chess club or whatever it is, if it's something positive, you're going to be around the people that you're around. And same way with something negative. If you messing with somebody who, doing this,
yeah.
most likely you can go do the same thing because you see, oh, he got money, he getting these streets. And
You
so,
broke it.
and so that's why I think it's important for the father, the parents to have stuff for them to do, the
Yeah.
positive, whether, I don't care if it's Boy Scouts.
Yeah.
Well, I do care about
Keep them
that.
active, though.
Yeah, keep them active in something where they're learning something new, doing something different. You know what I'm saying? It don't have to just
Yeah.
be sports, it could be book club, I don't care what it is. But it's gotta be something positive.
Just
Our
keep
kids,
them active.
we can't just be like, here, video game, boom, play these games, and we never get a chance to not talk to
Go
you.
outside sports.
Not talking to your parents. The only thing you going straight to your room, and then on top of that, you don't know who they talking to in these video games.
Phones.
Like phones.
They got phones early
You
now.
got, you got to
Early.
And
You gotta know your child.
Kids
You
operate.
gotta know their tendencies. You gotta know their mannerisms. Because a lot of the time, especially amongst us men, we weren't taught how to communicate.
Mhm.
So you gotta be able to pay attention and know, like, especially with the boys, you gotta know if something bothering them. You gotta be able to get
They get
them
quiet.
They get
Yeah,
quiet.
shut
They
down.
maybe standoffish. You may be like, yeah, a little more aggressive,
Yeah,
a little more
yeah.
angry. What's up? What's going
Yeah,
on?
at least the girls emotional. They'll, we could kind of tell. Yeah, you're right. It's a little
Right.
easier
So they
with
gotta
the
have
girls.
something to model behind. So that figure, that structure that's placed upon that child, that's what they see. They're gonna want to model that. They're gonna want to mimic that. That's what they're looking at. Especially like you said, if that father is successful, the son looking at that like, all right. And then now it's up to the father to be like, I can't give you this, but you've seen the steps. Take the steps. Work your way
as
up.
a parent, for you to guide them.
Yeah, you gotta guide them.
And so,
Financial literacy, all of that.
I want to give my kids everything, but I want them to take the proper steps to get there.
Mhm.
I want them to bust
Make
their
it work
ass.
too.
Yeah.
My parents didn't give me, make sure I got to do this, or do this, or do this. And so it's the same way. And communication in our household, wasn't a lot of communicating both ways. He communicated, and we
That was
listen.
it.
We listen, or gonna be, you know, a price to pay. Like, you know what I'm saying? You knew that, and as you get older, but he did pay attention. He always knew something was going on. Like, you know, but it's just different now. These kids feel like they got privacy. I couldn't even close my bedroom door, let alone lock it.
Right.
Like, it wasn't nothing like any dad coming in like, oh, get out my drawers, get out my what? Nah,
Right.
Yours, and I think that's
Something
something.
don't happen.
But-
We didn't really have shit to hide anyway.
But I think that's something that's important that they need to, like, the parents gotta bring that back, just for the simple fact, it be these things where they're going, their kids got guns they don't know about, no, they got all this stuff because
They
they
give
tell
them
them,
that
I wanna give them their, what
Yeah.
they need privacy for?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Well, get your own stuff.
At what age though do you think you should limit that? 16, 17?
When you move out.
When you move out 18.
18.
When you move out.
Bro. And when you go to
Got your
college,
own-
but still,
got your
but I think, but when really, once you're 18, I think that's not even to say they still
100% wrong.
Yeah,
Right,
because
21.
if you in college, I'm not even
Still
saying.
take care of it.
Yeah, as long as your parents is taking care
You
of
ain't
you.
got to be in college. 18, they still in the house.
Yeah, 18,
That's
college,
what I'm
whatever,
saying.
23.
When
But
get
you
out.
can still could be in under the, you know, and you gotta follow the rules. They paying for your tuition, they paying for this.
Yeah.
You're not that grown. You just you're an
Not at all.
adult kid. Yeah, you
Right.
know,
Your
which is
age
fine.
make you
Which
adult.
is yeah, that don't make you grown.
Yeah,
but
right.
which is fine. Which is which is perfectly fine as long as they're acting up. Age, of course, every adult man only gonna get out of pocket a little
Yeah,
bit,
but
and
it's
they're gonna have to. But you gotta have them parents who's been there and they can check you and bring you back in line. You know,
Limited. Make sure they learn.
Learning from you.
First couple mistakes.
At least at 18,
Yeah.
you old enough to know right from wrong. You know what I'm saying? At
Yeah.
12, 13, 14, even though they say, but you know, sometimes it's like you making a dumb decision because you were a kid, not because you thought the process out, I think. And so, as us as black men with our kids, with not even just with our kids, with people around the community, I think it's important for us to carry ourselves a certain way. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? We gotta carry ourselves a certain way because they already, especially see me, beard, hair, they automatically think something. They automatically be nervous.
Automatic.
They automatically be nervous. And then I probably don't make it no friendly because I don't speak to them just like they don't speak to me. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Respect
But I-
both ways.
You know what I'm saying? But like, you know, I watch some things that, like my father, he always speaks, make them speak. Like, you know what I'm saying? Make them uncomfortable, more uncomfortable. Even if I say, hello, how you doing today?
Right.
Like, you know what I'm saying? And make them speak. And so it's just something that, you know.
Nah, that's serious.
You know,
That's
something
serious.
that I learned, and then at first they're uncomfortable, it kind of breaks the barrier for them.
Breaks
They,
the
oh
ice.
yeah,
Yeah,
oh,
okay.
like nervous for no reason. I'm just as nervous as you as me, dog. I don't know what you're doing.
Matter of fact, I'm more scared of you than you are me.
You say
bro.
I did something, you think I believe it's that.
Hey, how about that, bro?
You know,
They so scared of us because they did so much to us.
but they continue. They know,
Get
they
carried
know,
over.
The guilt carry over. Now
They
they
know-
see us. They just
but they know
panic. They
things
think
are-
we're gone.
they know things out there deep down.
Oh,
Yeah, they know.
Of
Exactly.
course, of course.
They know it's not, we're not on that same, but
Right.
it makes me upset when people act like this.
How many billionaires would you think we would have at this moment right now?
Stuff like
All
this.
If it was equal.
All four of us at this
If
table.
it was equal.
Trade
You see what I'm
yards,
saying?
we still can be.
Yeah.
It's-
I mean, I'm not saying we can't
Yeah, that's
now.
right.
We
That could've
just
been
have
passed
it
on
all.
from generation
Yeah, that's what I mean by like generation, where, you know, families will be, you know, billionaires.
It's a lot easier to become pass on generational wealth when you've got 400 years of free work.
Most of our black billionaires do not live in America.
You know, you have 400 years of free work. It makes it,
400 plus.
yeah, you know what I mean?
Still coming.
Man, it makes it real easy. You know what I'm saying? And then, you know,
You
then you want to
create
tax us. Then you want to tax us on a situation that, you know what I'm saying? It's just crazy that we get paid for. It's absolutely absurd.
They pay the ones they want to pay.
You created your wealth, you know, on the backs
Ben did.
of free work from somebody else. So it's
That's
Well,
it.
I got one for you. We was willing to teach them, and we taught them, and then they
Two.
stole it.
that too.
You do a lot of stuff in the store, patents, all kinds
All
of
types
stuff.
of-
Pretty much damn near everything.
Like, like, did you know the traffic light was invented by a black man? Did y'all know that?
The GPS system invented by a black man.
All that. Like, I looked at
DC
it. They
was
got
laid
like,
out, DC, the floor plan for DC was about black. You put that whole city together, and it's genius how the city is put together, alphabetical order numbers on that diamond, it's ridiculous how it's put together. And so, it is what it is.
Double that.
my bad, fellas.
You know, it is what it
Might be my
is.
daughter.
But you can't walk around angry.
You can't.
Nah,
You know,
they want you to.
Because we're gonna leave our own legacy.
hey, things, as much as things change, it stays the same, but it is, it's still, it is what it is. And there's a lot of, don't
We
get
got a
it
lot of
twisted.
good
I just want, don't get it twisted, there's a lot of good people who go.
Definitely.
Both sides, and there's a lot of bad people on both sides.
Yeah.
Very clear. And so not everybody trades for the cause. Not everybody who goes for the ball. That's our guys.
I was getting ready to say this.
Do you think it'll ever change?
Huh? Yeah, I hope so. Everybody hopes so, but no.
Like it says, too.
We won't be here.
Yeah.
Right, and it's too
I mean,
far.
This
to,
country
like,
becoming a bit like, and so many mixed and majors, and everything's getting mixed up. And ain't gonna be none of us real soon. And there ain't gonna be no, it's just gonna be a mix. It's gonna be a mix of everybody. Like, everybody gonna probably look like him or something.
I hope not.
Venture.
Yeah, I mean, really, like, you
Besides,
got,
yeah.
you go to different places, different towns.
Oh,
it's
yeah,
gonna-
Everybody like it.
Like,
It's racial.
yeah.
It's racial.
This race is,
It's racial.
Like I got
That's the
Obamas
division.
in my family.
Well, not do it. That's the,
I don't know.
they want the control.
But they won't have it with that. You gotta understand, like, they don't, like, to them, anything mixed, it's not pure. Some of them, to the supremacists and all that kind of stuff, it's not pure, they don't want that. That's the last thing they want.
But when I say that they want the control, is to further push the agenda of not having that black man in the household. Remove him from out the household. Let's put this shit in front of these kids.
Oh, yeah,
faces in school.
or let's get Section 8.
Well, all that,
We get Section 8,
you know,
can't a man be in the household?
Like, I didn't know
You
about
what
the
I'm
project shit.
like,
So,
all that,
Thank
all
you.
that-
Something you
all
talking
that, yeah.
project.
all that
And I was like,
from
damn, project.
you know what I'm saying?
It
So
was
now-
a project.
See, government becomes a kid's daddy.
Yeah.
How about that?
And then they raise them, and then when they're 18, 21, they want them back.
And they give you what you want, and they give you what they want you to have.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh
So
yeah, they'll put you back. in
that's
slavery.
what they said.
Damn,
The
that's
biggest
vicious.
downfall on the household was now the females like, I don't need no man, he can leave. But and so I'll get on this, I'll get on
Food
that,
stamp.
I'll do this, I'll get Section 8, or I'll get housing, I'll get this.
And I'm gonna make you pay child support. And so it's crazy. The
Downfall both ways.
The whole loophole, yeah, it's crazy. So,
She go to Section 8, and he go to child support.
and then the jail.
and then the jail if you don't pay.
They just stopped.
So how so
child
how you
support.
think I'm gonna pay if you send me to jail?
How am I supposed to come back?
They just stopped, but guess what they do now? Take your license.
Suspend
So-
this.
And it's going
That's
to
your
credit. It's going
But
to credit
see, here's the
down.
all
thing
of that
about
is
calling
fraud.
credit. Yeah,
Fraud.
they
Fraud.
can't do that unless they report when you pay as a credit. They can't report when you don't.
When you
pay.
don't pay.
And so if you're gonna report, they gotta do monthly
It's on
reports.
there.
Yeah, that's
So I
absurd.
try to take them off.
And what did you buy? What you could do? Like what in the world?
How
That should
did
not be
I
credit.
obtain this debt?
You can get that off though.
I got one off though.
You can- you can- you can
Hard,
get that-
but I did get one off.
You get them
You
all.
can get it off.
Yeah.
That's absolutely.
In a little minute, though. I did. I got one off. The other two, they just. No credit.
It's called fraud, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah. Yeah, I might
My-
sue. Might sue.
I might.
Experience.
Can't.
I was getting ready to say, not might, you can.
As soon as you threaten.
They-
Oh, I ain't gonna threaten them. I'm
No.
just.
But you gotta put the letter in.
You gotta
send
send
it
the
to
USC codes and then send it to
Yeah.
them with the.
Make sure you have the
Give them a
codes.
chance to get rid of it.
Ask AI.
Make sure you have the codes.
Yes.
I got the templates already.
I'm about to do
Definitely.
it. Shit, I can come off. I'm just
You
specific.
talking about
saying.
specifically, that's what we talking about.
Yeah, what
that's what I'm
was specifically stopping me from my debt was, I mean, from getting a loan card
Child
or
support.
whatever. Child support. Killing me.
Support the children.
I got that. Way more than.
And now that is deemed unconstitutional.
Mm-hmm. By the Supreme Court.
Money, huh?
Yeah, they know people putting in that paperwork.
As we speak.
As we speak.
As we speak. They about to go out of business.
Who's that?
That's child support.
They about to owe a lot of people. Whole lot. Make sure y'all like, subscribe, and share, man. Like we said, man, the Ordinary People Podcast. Like, subscribe, and share. Share this to your mother, your brother, your father, your sister, uncle, grandmother. Share this to everybody. Share it. We appreciate y'all. I'm Jay Fuse.
The voice of reason.
I'm Randall. Oh, we did
Red.
But it's all gravy though, because we the Ordinary People Podcast, man.
We
Salute.
do ordinary stuff.
Like we get to introduce ourselves.
Like really, we just went right into it. But y'all was excited.
We ain't been here.
We ain't been here in a minute, but y'all figured it out.
Ordinary People Podcast.
See, stuff happens. I'm usually the one with the phone.
We out.
We out.